Now, Bob, since you mentioned fathers, how can we teach our young men how to be fathers?
I think it starts with respect for young ladies, because it's generational. This is generations deep. We have a culture of disrespect and honor. Young men think that by honoring themselves, it's not being nice and raising children. They need to know that you do not go near a lady unless you're going to respect her and lift her up and propel her into the purpose for her life. Young ladies are accepting anything that comes their way. So respect for ladies is the start, because I think when you first respect yourself, right, and you do something well, you've got to respect the people around you.
Right, right. Now, you also mentioned, you said you helped 100,000 kids in a 10-year period. Can you talk to us about, because you said you go in schools, what about the graduation rate? Do you help in that area too?
Here's an exact quote, okay, from a retired Buffalo principal, Sylvia Baines. She said that since YWAP, which is the acronym for Youth with a Purpose, since YWAP has been in our school, grades are up, suspensions are down, and behavioral problems have leveled off. What you do is you go in and you mentor students, parents, and teachers, okay? Teachers, they're doing like a triage teaching. To walk into a city classroom, you're stopping a fight, dealing with abuse, you're trying to teach and raise standards, and being evaluated at the same time. A teacher, in my mind, most important job in the world. So if you put all those pieces together, you take the gunk out of their system. If you and I have a bad day, and we come to the studio, we try to have to put on a happy face. Kids don't know how to do that.
Right.
So now they carry their garbage, and then they're trying to learn. And I have to be honest, I never was really good in math. If you give me algebra, letters and numbers, I'm thinking you're smoking something. I can't learn that. Kids are the same way. We've got to teach them how to have relationships. Then they'll be able to get through the academics they need to. So yes, mentoring does increase the graduation rate. Absolutely. We have the answers.
Good. Conflict resolution. How do you deal with that?
Conflict resolution is really kind of cool. We use a lot of life stories, right? And it's really how to talk to people. And I gave an image of how we do road rage the other day. A guy, we had always got a van full of people, and in the van, it's a rolling classroom. Another guy's pulling by, he cut us off, and I pulled up in the middle of the intersection, and he's looked at him. And my brain is thinking, I wonder why he did that. He stopped his car, stared at me, giving the old screw face, and I looked at him, and I said, "Hey, you! It's good to see you today. Jesus loves you, so do I." The guy laughed, everybody else laughed, the guy went on his way. There was no beef. Conflict resolution, slow down. Think about what the beef is all about. Is it worth having a beef? Do I really need to have it? And if somebody needs to be held accountable, start with a compliment. That's a mini course in conflict resolution.
Good, I like that. Can you share any success stories? I'm sure you have many, but can you share one with us?
Yeah, awesome stories. Our first mountain climb was Algonquin Peak, 5,115 feet.
Wow.
On top of the mountain, we had 8 young people. All 8 had been victims or intended victims of gun violence. All 8 knew somebody, friend or relative, that died from gun violence. All 8 had either been in jail, both guilty and innocent. None of the 8 had an active father in their lives. They made the top of the mountain. They all said it was the hardest thing they ever had to do. Driving down, coming back from the Adirondack Mountains, we had a tape recorder, simulated radio show, and the one girl was saying, you city people, put your guns down. We mountain climbers. That girl now is gainfully employed. She's not living the life of the streets. She realized that what we do on the mountains, that's the metaphor of life. You're going to have a mountain of sexual temptation, a mountain of drugs and alcohol, a mountain of just sitting back on social services. So we've got a ton of stories of kids going to college, starting their own business, being in the military. They're all over the world.
Okay. Now, you've been involved for 10 years yourself there?
Yes.
All right, because I could see you have a passion for it, and that's very important, that people have passion for our children. We're coming down, unfortunately, to the last 2 minutes of this segment. What would you want the people to hear? I want to make sure you get what you want them to hear.
We're in the middle of a presidential election. You read that people donate millions and millions of dollars to presidential candidates. I'm asking for people to invest in self-sustainability and accountability for our young people. We need to stop the promulgation of poverty in Buffalo. Adding more social services amounts to creating another prison. We've had young people say that their goal is to get their own social services so they can help their mom and stand on her own 2 feet. We need to create jobs, and that doesn't take rocket science. Proper expenditures of funds will turn Buffalo around in a heartbeat. And we don't need millions. We can run a complete youth center that helps over 1,000 kids per year on as little as $60,000. How many youth centers could you build in Buffalo and help kids start their own businesses that would employ their children, teach respect? You could turn a city around in a heartbeat.
Youth with a purpose. And Bob, you definitely have a big purpose. You're doing great things. I know some people that's going to definitely be giving you the call, myself included, because I believe not only our children is our future, but they are our right now. And in reality, it's up to us. And you're doing a great job. We thank you so very, very much for joining us. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back in 1 minute with our next guest.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.